The excitement was palpable, and the stakes were high as the Netherlands had won the toss and elected to bowl first. Now, that was an interesting decision, wasn't it? We were in for a thrilling ride as these two teams clashed on the cricketing stage.
The pitch at Rajiv Gandhi International Cricket Stadium was beneficial to batters while providing enough support to seam bowlers. This venue, like the majority of other venues, used red soil, black soil, and a combination of both. The toss was done, and Hasan Ali played, as did Fakhar Zaman.
Babar Azam, in my humble opinion, had lowballed on his team's potential score that day. Perhaps he had undersold Pakistan's batting approach, hoping not to put unnecessary pressure on his top order right from the toss. They had stuck with Shadab Khan and Mohammad Nawaz in the middle order, which
had squeezed USM Amir out, while Mohammad Wasim was the fast bowler left out. Netherlands, who had chosen to bowl first, had shown a terrific power play economy in ODIs. Between the last World Cup and that edition, they had conceded only 4.4 runs per over in the first 10, the lowest among
all the 2023 World Cup teams. But one stat that Netherlands didn't like was their poor power play wicket returns despite the low bowling economy. In the 21 ODIs where they had taken 0-1 wickets in the power play, they had won only 2 games. For 2 power play wickets, their win percentage was 29%, an FO. For 2 power play wickets, their win percentage was 29%, and for 3 power play scalps, it was 66-67. The average first innings score in Hyderabad had been around 288, with the average first innings winning score hovering around 322.
Some days, Logan van Beek could single-handedly lead the Netherlands charge, and we were fortunate to witness it against West Indies at the World Cup qualifier. Today, he made an opening statement with the ball that sent tremors through Pakistan's batting lineup.
Fakhar Zaman fell victim to a rather gentle dismissal, getting caught and bowled, which left Pakistan supporters disheartened. They had been longing for him to regain his form. His batting statistics had seen a significant decline, almost reaching single-digit averages during the latter part of the 102.
Nonetheless, the situation grew even more precarious for Pakistan as Babar Azam joined Imamul Haq at the crease, with the team's score standing at a fragile 16-1 after 4 tenths overs. The Netherlands showed no reluctance in persisting with dead spin from the opposite end.
Pakistan had a troubling record, losing 2/3 of all matches since CWC 2019, where they lost 2 wickets during the batting power play. Their woes continued as they lost a second wicket, with Babar Azam playing a fateful shot, sending the ball to mid-wicket. Erin Dutt's economical off-spin may not have earned him a wicket, but his 4 overs, conceding only 12 runs, exerted enough pressure on Pakistan to force them into risky strokes when a new bowler came into the attack. Colin Ackerman, also bowling off-spin, made a significant impact with his 3rd delivery, utilizing his height to generate extra bounce. Pakistan found themselves at 30 for halves after 8.3 overs. The dismissals of Babar and Imamul Haq had left fans with a heavy sense of disappointment and apprehension. Babar's wicket came just as he showed a hint of aggression, leaving supporters crestfallen. The responsibility now rested squarely on Imamul Haq's shoulders, and his bat seemed to respond to the dire situation. After a hesitant start, he began to play more shots, injecting a glimmer of hope into the hearts of Pakistan's faithful followers. Imam himself was an enigma, one of just 3 current openers boasting a batting average of over 50 minimum to 1,000 runs. However, his away average of just over 30 had often been a cause for concern, making his innings all the more crucial in this pivotal match.
If you were to inquire with the Netherlands, they would likely dismiss those words as mere rhetoric with no real value. In this crucial match, they were proving just that. As Paul van Meekeren entered the fray and dismissed Imamul Haq with the very first ball of his spell, he welcomed the left-handed, forcing him into a timid pull shot that ended up at fine leg. Pakistan found themselves reeling at 43 thirds after 10 overs, and the weight of pressure was beginning to bear down on them. All eyes were now fixated on Saad Shakil, who had played only 5 ODIs before this pivotal encounter, and Mohammad Rizwan. The tension in the air was palpable, and nerves were running high. It was a golden opportunity for Shakil to rise to the occasion, especially given his preference over Salman Ali Agha in the playing Shi. The situation had become even more charged as Pakistan's middle order was tested under the most trying circumstances.
Basti Lead, who wasn't even born when his father Tim D. Lead played against Pakistan in the 1996 World Cup, found himself in a remarkable turn of events as he bowled to the same opponents. At the 2023 edition, the young D. Lead had a challenging task ahead, needing to maintain a tight line and length, especially with Rizwan, and Shakil had been keeping Pakistan's tempo high despite the early wickets. Shakil, in particular, welcomed him with a stunning boundary over mid-on. Pakistan's score stood at 78 thirds after 15 overs, and the excitement in the stadium was reaching a fever pitch. And the 14th over, there was a peculiar situation that left everyone surprised. The umpire unexpectedly called over after only 5 balls had been delivered. It was a moment that added an element of intrigue to an already intense contest.
Rizwan and Shakil embarked on a remarkable rebuilding effort, stitching together an unbeaten 57-run partnership that featured an impressive tally of 10 fours. They motored along at a formidable run rate, hovering at nearly 6 runs per over. Their batting displayed a remarkable blend of expressiveness and resilience, particularly after surviving a few nail-biting close calls. It was as if Pakistan had found their rhythm again. The pitch had normalized, and the attacking strokes from Mohammad Rizwan and Saud Shakil were not only pleasing to the eye but also yielding valuable runs. In Rizwan's case, he had been Pakistan's standout batsman in recent times. Throughout 2023, he had delivered exceptional performances at number 4, amassing an outstanding average of 60.8 in 15 innings. He was well on his way to securing his 7th 50 from that batting position for the year. But what he yearned for even more passionately was achieving his maiden century from that spot in the same year. His 2 ODI centuries had both come at number 4, albeit in 2022, and the prospect of a historic century in 2023 hung tantalizingly in the air.
Shakil had the audacity to thump Roelof van der Merwe for a boundary over the leg side, defying the presence of deep midwicket and long on fielders. Initially, it appeared to be a risky shot with 2 outfielders strategically positioned in the vicinity. Yet, Shakil's move was a calculated gamble, a testament to his cricketing acumen. He recognized that the Netherlands had 1 extra fielder outside the circle, making it a no ball regardless of the outcome. Although the umpires didn't immediately spot the no ball, Shakil was quick to raise his protest once the officials realized their oversight. They rectified it and called it a no ball. What followed was a spectacular free hit dispatched for a 6, leaving spectators pondering whether the momentum had indeed shifted in favor of Pakistan. With both Shakil and Rizwan inching into their 40s, Pakistan stood at 121 thirds after 22 overs, and the emotions in the stadium were at a fever pitch.
Twin 50s had deflated the Netherlands, much like the lifeline 50-50 in the quiz show Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, meant to rescue you from a sticky situation. Shakil was the first to reach his 50, doing so in just 32 balls, and Rizwan soon followed suit, achieving the milestone in 59 deliveries. The dynamic duo had not only secured their own 50s but also formed a formidable partnership, putting up 100 runs on the scoreboard while maintaining a rollicking run rate of 6.7. Their exceptional performance helped compensate for the earlier slow start, and in the last 5 overs, they had amassed an astonishing 45 runs. As a result, the score now stood at an impressive 146 thirds after 25.3 overs. The Netherlands appeared worn out and disheartened, while Shakil, in particular, had been toying with the opposition's field placements, leaving the fans in awe of his cricketing prowess.
It was all about Arian Dutt. No IFS, no buts. Arian Dutt's opening spell with the new ball had been nothing short of sensational. His pinpoint accuracy and economy had set the stage for the other Dutch bowlers to strike, and it was a testament to his tight bowling. Now, in his second spell, Dutt finally reaped the rewards he had earned with his consistent performance. He cunningly tempted Shaquille into attempting a slog sweep, salting in a sliced catch that marked the end of Shaquille's magnificent innings. He departed after scoring a brilliant 68 runs, and the 1-1-4 ball partnership worth 120 runs had come to a heart-wrenching end. Shaquille had played an outstanding innings with a strike rate of 130, and it was evident that some extra dip from Dutt's delivery had forced his dismissal. He would have felt immense pride in his innings, but undoubtedly there would also have been a pang of disappointment as he walked back to the pavilion. Now, a new batsman, Iftikhar Ahmed, strode to the crease, and the Netherlands would be fervently hoping to regain control once more. Pakistan's score stood at 159 quarters after 28.2 overs, and the rollercoaster of emotions in the stadium continued to sway with every twist and turn of the match.
Shaquille had contributed 68 valuable runs, and now Rizwan had to follow suit. Bastille, in his return spell, made a breakthrough by dismantling Rizwan stumps. Rizwan had been the initial spark in Pakistan's innings, but wisely took a step back when Shaquille was in full throttle. He departed after. With both Shaquille and Rizwan back in the pavilion, Pakistan was left with two new batsmen at the crease, as the players took a breather for drinks. The Netherlands seized the opportunity to huddle and strategize. There were still 18.3 overs to go in the match, and Pakistan's score stood at 180 to fifths.
Bastille had scripted an unforgettable over. Rizwan fell to his third delivery of the over, and in the last ball, Iftikhar was caught behind. There was a lack of substantial footwork from Iftikhar, and wicketkeeper Edwards executed a splendid dive. It was a half-hearted shot from the batter. Pakistan's fortunes had taken a dramatic nosedive, plummeting from 158 for 3 to 188 for 6. With Shadab now joining Nawaz in the middle, the lower middle order was exposed, and Pakistan faced an uphill battle to stabilize their innings.
Bastille made a sensational comeback, striking with back-to-back deliveries. The Delete family was creating some new memories, and Biers now had 4 wickets to his name. Shadab Khan had posed a more significant threat in the partnership, but Delete relied on his accuracy to dismiss him. Shadab showed his frustration, venting his disappointment by punching his helmet, well aware that he had fallen at a critical juncture after scoring 32. In the very next ball, Delete trapped Hassan Ali Lek before wicket LBW with a length delivery. Shaheen Afridi managed to survive the hat-trick ball, but Pakistan's low order had been significantly rattled by Delete's.
Haris showcased some aggressive strokes during his brief stay at the crease, smashing consecutive boundaries, a 4, a 6, and another 4. However, his eagerness got the better of him. Ackerman cleverly went full and wide, anticipating Harris's charge. And that's precisely what happened. He was stumped courtesy of Scott Edwards' quick glove work, bringing Pakistan's innings to a close at 286 all out. Babar Azam had stated at the toss that they were targeting a score between 290 to 300. Well, they almost reached that goal. But the challenge lay in the fact that the Netherlands had seized the momentum despite Pakistan's efforts.
During the break, Pakistan had an intriguing game plan in mind, which involved utilizing both seamers and spinners. All 6 bowlers were honing their skills in the side nets as they prepared for the second innings. Let's dissect their strategy. Spin bowling had been a notable challenge for Pakistan. Their ball-to-wicket ratio of 42.4 was far from impressive, and since the 2019 World Cup, it became even worse when playing away from home. They conceded an average of 50.8 runs per wicket on foreign soil, requiring 56 balls to claim a single. Haris Rauf had emerged as a prominent figure in the ODI format, amassing 52 wickets since 2021, second only to Mohammad Siraj's tally of 53. The twilight period with the new ball was crucial, as it often exhibited unpredictable behavior. Haris had been the go-to bowler for taking 3 or more wickets on multiple occasions in ODIs, achieving this feat 10 times. Pakistan was banking on that version of Haris to make an impact. On the other hand, Hasan Ali had been facing a challenge with his ODI bowling form. Since the 2019 World Cup, no bowler had a higher economy rate 6.9 than Hasan in ODIs. The bowlers who closely followed him on that list Navdeep Saini 6-9 and Isuru Dana 6-8 were not even in contention. One thing was certain though. The injured Naseem Shah would be watching the game from his TV, wishing he could be out there on the field. The Dutch opening pair of Max O'Dowd and Vikramjit Singh had extensive experience batting together.
The Netherlands openers, Max Udoud and Vikramjit Singh, were executing their game plan effectively. They managed to navigate the first overs from Shaheen Shah Afridi without any major disruptions and had already accumulated 15 runs in 3 overs. Hassan Ali's late movement away from the batsman was proving to be a challenge, but it was evident that Udoud and Vikramjit were gaining confidence. On another note, Pakistan had a clear understanding of the importance of saving runs, and their fielding had been exceptional. The captain and vice-captain led by example, displaying great agility and commitment in the field when required. At this point in Hyderabad, the attendance stood at 8,196, with fans eagerly following the action on the field. Hassan Ali demonstrated the value of experience in this game. He persisted with a test match length for long enough that when he eventually unleashed the short ball, Max Udoud couldn't connect cleanly with his attempted pull shot. The ball was taken comfortably by a fielder at deep fine leg, and Hassan Ali came close to claiming a second wicket shortly after when Colin Ackerman edged one that fell just short of the slip cordon. The fall of Max Udoud's wicket made Vikramjit Singh a bit tentative once again, and the noise level from Pakistan's fielding unit began to rise. This development allowed Shaheen Shah Afridi to find his rhythm in a relatively quiet over. After 7 overs, the Netherlands stood at 30 over 1, and the match continued to unfold with moments of tension and excitement.
Between overs 5.1 and 7.5, there were no additional runs added to the Netherlands' total. It wasn't until the 17th ball in that stretch that a boundary was finally scored, albeit in a perilous manner. Colin Ackerman played a drive that had the fielder at short cover on high alert. Interestingly, both teams had reached the same score of 30 for over 1 after 8 overs. The match had seen a period of consolidation from both sides, with the bowlers effectively applying pressure and making it challenging for the batsmen to score freely. Ackerman exits, the lead enters. Imagine exposing your stump's first ball to a part-timer and then missing the sweep. That's what has happened with Colin Ackerman. And if Iftikhar Ahmed gets the second, Pakistan are chipping away, with Netherlands 50 halves in 11.1 overs.
The partnership between Singh and D-Lead quietly flourished, reaching a 50-run mark at an impressive run rate of nearly 6 runs per over. Singh, who had initially embraced the role of an anchor, had now settled into it comfortably. His growing confidence was evident as he fearlessly took on the Pakistani bowlers. He didn't hesitate to step down the track and launch a few straight back down the ground, and he showed no signs of trouble when pulling off the back foot. Singh was inching closer to his 650-plus score, but this one felt like it could be his most crucial yet. D-Lead, on the other hand, was metronomic in his run scoring, maintaining a run of ball 34. The question loomed whether Babar would turn to Haris and Afridi again in the near future, as spin had proven to be less effective against this resilient partnership. The match was evolving steadily, with Singh and D-Lead gradually taking control of the proceedings.
Haris Rauf delivered a spell that made the scorecard go WOW. Turgeneid Manaris family had eagerly come to watch him play an international game for the first time today. But their excitement was short-lived as he was dismissed on the boundary line. He attempted to take on Haris Rauf with a pull shot, but found the fielder waiting. In walked Scott Edwards, carrying the hopes of the entire Netherlands team and its fans, but his stay at the crease was painfully brief. He fell victim to a sensational delivery from Haris.
At this juncture, the Netherlands was at 133 fifths in 26.4 overs and faced a daunting task to chase down the target. Interestingly, Haris could have claimed a third wicket in the over, but Iftikhar dropped Zulfikar off the very first ball he faced. The match was hanging in the balance with every delve.
The situation had boiled down to the fact that D-Lead was left with only the lower order batsmen to accompany him, and the required run rate had surged above 7 runs per over. The fast bowlers were charging in with fiery pace, and Shadab Khan had transformed into a different bowler altogether. All these factors combined meant that the Netherlands required nothing short of a miracle from this point onward. Fortunately for them, they were no strangers to World Cup miracles. At this stage, the Netherlands was at 152 fifths after 31 overs, and the game had reached a critical juncture where every delivery carried immense significance. The odds were stacked against them, but cricket had witnessed improbable turnarounds before. A heartfelt salute to BASD lead, but his remarkable vigil was brought to an end by Mohammad Nawaz, leaving one to ponder if that was the turning point tonight. He had almost single-handedly kept the Netherlands in the game throughout both innings, but in the end, the mismatch in overall quality between the two sides, especially in batting, became evident. De Leed departed after a commendable 67 ball 68 and wore a disappointed expression, but everyone, including Pakistan fans, would undoubtedly salute him for his exceptional effort today. I had put a question mark at the end of the heading because Logan van Beek walked in at number 9, and he was known for his immense hitting ability. Alongside him was Roelof van der Meer, a true stalwart of the sport. So, it wouldn't be entirely fair to declare it over just yet. As the scorecard read Netherlands 160 for 7ths in 33.3 overs, they faced an uphill battle to resurrect their innings. Looking back, they would also rue the 100 runs they had conceded between batters number 7 to 11 in the first innings, a factor that had significantly influenced the course of the match. Logan van Beek was visibly struggling to run, and his only companion now was the number 11, Paul van Meekeren. The Netherlands team was primarily focused on safeguarding their net run rate NR, while Pakistan was doing their utmost to secure an NR boost. Reflecting on the 2019 World Cup, Pakistan had faced a significant defeat against the West Indies, which had severely impacted their NR. It was a bitter memory, as it ultimately cost them a semi-final spot, when they tied with New Zealand on 11 points and were eliminated as the 5th team. This memory was likely in the back of their minds as they approached the 2023 World Cup. As the camera scanned the stands, it was heartening to see many fans still remaining. These neutral supporters had been exceptional throughout the day, despite their relatively low numbers. Their enthusiasm had remained high, contributing to the vibrant atmosphere of the match. Paul van Meekeren had encountered 2 short deliveries during the evening's play. One came from Hassan Ali, and the other from Haris Rauf. Interestingly, after each of these deliveries, the number 11 batsman engaged in a brief conversation with the respective bowl. It seemed that the gentleman had a penchant for living on the edge. In fact, he even let out a triumphant roar in Harris's direction after smacking the bowler for a boundary. It was a display of audacity from the lower order batsman, who was determined to make the most of his time at the crease. Pakistan had several positives to take from their bowling performance. Hassan Ali's impressive new ball spell on his return to ODIs, Shadab Khan's ability to get the ball to turn, Mohammad Nawaz contro, and Iftikhar Ahmed picking up a wicket would have pleased the Pakistani camp. At certain points, the Dutch team had even been ahead in the game, and they would carry the valuable lessons from this defeat into their remaining 8 league matches. Looking back, it was essential to remember the partnership between Saud Shakil and Mohammad Rizwan, who put together a vital stand of 120 runs in 114 balls. Both batsmen scored 68 runs each, rescuing Pakistan from a precarious position of 38 thirds early in the game. Without their partnership, the outcome of this match could have taken a completely different direction. For his crucial contribution, Saud Shakil was awarded the player of the match, edging out BASD lead. For his crucial contribution, Saud Shakil was awarded the player of the match, edging out BASD lead. And with that, we bid adieu, my friends. There were plenty of subplots to savor today, and they will all be dissected in the match report that will follow shortly. See you tomorrow for more thrilling cricket action.